Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Las Vegas Advisor. This is part of our interview series, and today we are joined by Matt Bourie from the Jackpot Gents. It's lovely to have you, Matt.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. Usually I'm the one interviewing Anthony on our channel. It's nice to have it changed around for once.
That's right. We've both been fans of your channel, but to give a little background, I'm going to kick it over to Anthony to talk about you.
Yeah. Okay, so I've known Matt. I just asked him, how long has it been?
I think 25 years, I think.
25 years. I mean, he came in with his dad, Steve. All right, and we'll talk about this. Steve Bourie and Matt Bourie did the American Casino Guide for years, and they came in while they were doing that and talked to me, and he's just a little kid, right? Yeah. I think he was like, what were you, 14, 15 years old?
Probably, yeah. I was amazed that you had a keg in your office.
Oh, yeah, he liked the keg, but he couldn't have any. Now we will after the show.
Cool.
Okay.
So, Matt says, like I said, I've known him all this time. He was part of the duo that did the American Casino Guide, which was, both complimentary and a little bit competitive with LVA, with the coupons.
Yeah.
But we always stayed friends. We were always able to work together. He and his dad then pivoted, and we'll talk about the timing on all of this, and to do the Jackpot Gents on, as an influencer on YouTube and other platforms.
I still think it's funny to be called an influencer.
You are an influencer, man. It's amazing. So, let's start off the way we usually start off with our guests. Just give us a little chronology of how you got into it. I mean, your dad was into gambling, obviously. It doesn't mean you're going to. My son is, he works at a ski resort. Doesn't know anything about gambling. Works at a ski resort in Tahoe. He didn't care anything about it. So, tell us about it.
So it started out, my dad was a marketing director for Highlight Frontons, if you're familiar with the sport Highlight, and down in South Florida. And I guess they had a player strike in like the late 80s, and then it never really bounced back. My dad could kind of see the writing on the walls that it was a dying industry. So I think it was 1992 he started the American Casino Guidebook, and I think back then there were just casinos here, Atlantic City, and maybe 2 or 3 states with riverboat casinos. I think it was like a 16-page or a 32-page pamphlet that it started out as, and then as the years went on and the casinos built up, it got bigger and bigger. And I think the last year we did it was 496 pages, I think it was.
Wow.
And the book's broken down into 3 sections. The first section is like a breakdown of all the games in the casinos, tells you how to play, how to like get better comps. It's all educational stuff. The second part was a listing of every casino in the country, and then the third part in the back was the coupons that we sort of had the friendly competition with you with. But then we were careful to never step on each other's toes, I feel.
No, it was good. We got along. But do you know how many phone calls I was on with your dad before you started the coupons? I mean, he was on the phone with me a lot.
Yeah.
Asked a lot of questions. And I'm like, But I like the guy, and, and we talked, and they did a good job. And like Matt says, we stayed out of each other's way.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are a great father and son team on the channel. I love watching you guys gamble and have loved it for many years. But one thing that's important to note about your channel is that some of the first videos on slot machines to ever go viral over 1 million were yours.
Yeah, I think so. In 2009, my dad put out the first video on our channel. It was originally American Casino Guide book channel.
Right.
And I think there was some video he found where this guy, it was a slot machine video had gone viral, and it was all terrible information. And it was like the guy had one video on his channel about slot machines, and like the rest of his videos were like paranormal activity, chasing ghosts and stuff. And he had just made it was all wrong. He was like saying, oh yeah, there's this key, you can just turn this key, and then as soon as I turn this key, it'll be all winners or all losers, depending on which way I turn it. It was all terrible information.
Yikes.
So my dad got fed up with that, and he's like, I can make a better video. So he put it out, and I think that video is up to like 10 million views now by itself, 10 or 15, something like that,
What's it called?
Slot Machines, How to Win and How They Work.
That's right.
How, I've seen it. But you you go ahead, and is it still valid today? I mean,
all the information is still valid. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it says how to win on slots, and he spends like back then you could only do a 10-minute video on YouTube is the longest you could do. So I think it's 9 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wow.
And the first probably nine minutes are him explaining how slot machines work, and then at the end he's like, "Yeah, you want to know how to win? You get lucky."
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so next after the book was to this, and this is where you are now, right?
Yeah. So,
and like, how did you get into it? I mean, at what time did you go, okay, this is what I want to do? And like, did you study gambling? Did you just, have your dad educate you? I mean, how did it go for you?
So I started out, back pre-internet. We would have to. My dad would send out, like, I forget what it was, but I think he would send it out to all the marketing directors to get the information about the casinos. And like, even when I was a little kid, we would have. All summer he would work on the book for the following year. We'd I'd have to put the labels on for where they're getting shipped to and all the stamps and stuff. And then funny enough, when Win Poker came out and all those video poker training softwares, my dad always had it on the computer, and I'd always see him playing it, and I can fairly confidently say I learned how to play video poker before I learned how to drive. So
wow, okay, so you liked that? It grabbed you?
Yeah.
Were you a game player?
Oh yeah, I've always played video games my whole life, and so yeah.
So it made sense. Your dad was in it. You said, okay, I'm going to learn it. You kind of dug it. You could see you could win.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Andrew from the Las Vegas Advisor, reminding you to go to the description box in the video and click on the link to get your Member Rewards coupon book, so when you come to Vegas, you can save thousands on all sorts of fun stuff to do. Happy couponing.
And then over the years, I've talked to many professional gamblers, like I knew card counters and stuff like that growing up, and I thought it was cool, but my dad always and had his friends who were professional gamblers always stress, it's a very hard way to make an easy living is what they say. Right. So yeah. And then he made me go before I turned 21. He brought me to a GA meeting, a Gamblers Anonymous meeting, just to see. He's like, it's not to prove that it's not all fun and games and bad things can happen. So he made me go to a GA meeting with him before I even ever started gambling, just to.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you need to do. We're doing a book right now called All About Sports Betting, and I read an article in the New York Times the other day. It's the best article I've seen about what gambling addiction can do to a family, to a regular guy, and to a family. And we talked about this. We have warnings in the book to be careful, and we're going to link to it with a QR code.
Yeah.
And say read this and see how bad it can get. So that's pretty smart. It took you to a meeting, huh?
Yeah, and then always in the book at the beginning, at the end of the first section of the book, he always had the 20 questions or whatever, and it's if you answer yes to more than 15 or whatever number it was, you may have an issue with a problem gambling. So he was always very upfront about that with me and with everybody. His thing was always to educate people to become smarter gamblers and to make sure that you're doing it for entertainment.
See, all the good ones do that. Really, it's like you can really tell how legitimate somebody is by how responsible they are and transparent when it comes to winnings and losings and how bad it can go and so forth.
Right.
And not trying to paint this, this beautiful golden picture. But anyway, so let's talk about that book. In my opinion, one of the great serialized publications of all time. As it grew, like you said, I remember it was a pamphlet. And it grew to this thick volume as gambling, I've got them all. I've got them on my bookshelf year by year where you can actually go back as a research tool. And tell us, how much work was that? And was there any joy in it? I mean, was there joy in it at all other than when it was over and you said, I don't have to do it again for a couple months?
Yeah, so it's funny because every year I would be, I think starting when I was 15, because I was on the newspaper and the yearbook and stuff in high school, and so I learned how to do all the use InDesign and PageMaker and all that stuff. So I think when I was around 15, I started laying out the book, and then every year my dad would hire one of my friends, and one of my friends would literally spend months calling every single casino in the entire country to make sure all the information was right.
Rough job.
Yeah, and then he'd send it over to me, and then I'd lay it all out in the book and everything, and I'm sure you know much better than I do when it comes down to crunch time.
Oh, we know. We know what it's like. So, okay, so you discontinued. Was it the pandemic?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have asked us. They'll call in and say, I want to buy the LVA and I want an American Casino Guide. And we have to tell them, well, there is no more American Casino Guide as of a couple of years ago. And I assume because when we came out of the pandemic, it was difficult for us to keep it up with the coupons. It was a tough job. And I assume that's what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened because, during COVID, all the marketing directors were laid off. And, the book would always come out the 1st of November for the following year. So we had a pretty hard deadline. So, all summer is when you have to start reaching out to all the marketing directors to get the coupons going. And they were all furloughed, so they weren't working at the time. And then finally, when they finally came back, it's... how it was. All the casinos had more business than they knew what to do with. So they were like, we're not giving you coupons. Or we got lines out the door as it is.
Yeah, it was tough.
Mm-hmm. And then so pretty much we knew that the only reason people bought the book anymore was for the coupons because all the other information you could find online on our website, AmericanCasinoGuideBook.com. So we decided to stop doing the physical book. But we have the app now with the website. And the app, you can look up any casino in the country. It'll give you turn-by-turn directions. And it's free on iOS or Android. So check that out. We still have some coupons in there. And, when it's digital, because, when we did the paper editions, the coupon had to be good for a year. So, a lot changes in a year. Right. But now with the digital coupons that we have in the app, it's a lot easier. They can just give us an offer and say, we just want this good for a few months. It's a lot easier to change stuff when it's not in print.
We'll put the website up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that our audience really likes. They love coupons. So
yes.
Obviously.
Go there, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so in terms of, I liked it for the research. I love the research. I can't tell you how many times I've used the book. Any plans at all to resurrect, or probably not?
I don't know. It's up in the air because that is a lot of work. Because I know you've got a much bigger outfit here. It's just me and my dad. There's nobody else in the company, so it's a lot of work for two. And my dad's 75 now, I think. So
Really?
he's he's trying to retire. So it's a lot of work for two people, and it would be even
what a
more
slacker.
work for just one person.
Steve, you're out there. What a slacker. 75, you want to retire? What's this about? I don't know. Okay, so the website then, though, does survive, and the website continues on, and you're going to resurrect. Now, what exactly is happening with the new one?
So we have what we did is we had the original American Casino Guide YouTube channel. And then we started doing the live play videos. And then once the live play videos took off, the algorithm sort of realized that we weren't putting out educational videos anymore. So, like, the video that you guys were saying went viral, it doesn't get any more views. It went from getting, like, tens of thousands of views a month to none. So then now our main channel is the Jackpot Gents, and then we've restarted the American Casino Guide book channel now. Now it's called American Casino Guide Book. So we're doing that, and we're putting out, we've re-released all the old educational videos that we had, and then we try to put one more new video out a month like we were doing back when we had just the book channel.
Okay, so when I'm on your show, which we do every, 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
So that goes on the book channel?
Yes, that goes on the American Casino Guide book channel,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And that's a Zoom interview, right? You guys do Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah, we got them in person here, but when we do, I'm not going to Florida, man.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's talk about probably what most people want to hear about, which is Jackpot Gents. And I think the first question is basically, what's your formula? We know you. Well, first of all, let's take a step back. It seems to me that yours is a bit more cerebral. All right, I would say more cerebral, where you're actually looking at strategies for games like video poker as opposed to just pushing buttons, kind of mindlessly on slots. Is that true?
Yes, it is. So we play only video poker, and the original idea is once like Brian Christopher was the first one to really start taking off real big, him, and then everybody followed him. My dad and I were like, oh, all these people are playing slots, and slots is a bad game, video poker in Vegas, you're a bad video poker game in Vegas has a 3% house edge. Penny slots are pretty much always going to have like a 10 to 15% house edge.
Huge difference.
Yeah. So, my dad and I were like, well, if we start doing it, we could, do video poker. And I believe we were the first channel to we put all our losses. We keep track of all our wins and losses for the year at the end of every video. And last year we made money.
Really?
So we made money on the video poker side.
That would be rare.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, really, even when you're playing the best games, you're still going to be playing a little bit negative, right?
Yeah.
Are you you're not even factoring your cash back and things like that? Or
No, we do, but
Okay.
it's we actually don't. The casinos in South Florida, I guess it's based on, because we're in there so often and we only play, we do 20-minute videos. So we go in and film a week's worth of videos in one day, and then we're not really there for the rest of the week. So the free play is not a huge factor, but.
Boy, that's something. Well, Andrew, I know, watches it a lot. Andrew's the one that.
Well, yeah, but and one thing that I notice about you guys also is that you bet with reasonable amounts of money. So
Yes.
you usually on a typical video you'll be playing with $1,000, and it's like, okay, well, people coming to Vegas, they have their $1,000 that they're coming with to play, and
Yeah.
I like that Brian Christopher and Vegas Matt, some of these guys are putting through 6 figures.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you guys are just, you take a reasonable amount that pretty much everybody could play with.
How up on strategy are you? I mean, I've watched you play. It looks good. When I watch you guys play, I don't see many mistakes. Everyone's going to miss one here and there. I don't see
Yeah,
many.
we're pretty good, but the issue is we've had to start playing, like Ultimate X and stuff. And what a lot of people don't realize is the strategy for Ultimate X is incredibly complicated. It changes based on what your average multiplier is of every hand on the screen. Sometimes you'll hold 3 to a flush, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you'll hold 4 to a flush over a pair, sometimes you don't. And it changes based on what all the multipliers are. Because the way I call it is you got to go fishing for multipliers, because if you're doubling your bet on that game, and if you don't have any multipliers, it's real hard to make your money back or win money
It's
with
volatile.
no multipliers.
Yeah, when you're playing it from the top, it's pretty volatile. All right, so what is your model? Your model obviously is not to win money playing video poker. I mean, you're not playing it like an AP, going out there and saying, okay, we're going to find 100% games and we're going to make money there. It has to be similar to what Vegas Matt was telling us and other influencers have told us, that you're going to make your money off of the ad sales and
Yeah.
whatever else.
The
you do.
views and the
Yeah,
subscriptions,
views.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So like on our YouTube, you can subscribe. It's what is it called? Our membership is the paid way to do it, and it's like I think it's like $1.99 for the lowest level, and it goes up to like $5 or something a month. And if whatever the top level is, you get an extra live stream once a month. I do one live stream once a month for the members only, and then one of the lower levels you get like. You get access to the videos early. As soon as I'm done editing them, you can watch them all before they get released to the public. So that is a very small portion of our income. And then, but yeah, just like Vegas Matt had said, it's all on the ad revenue.
Okay.
And our goal is just to hopefully, in a year, make more money from the ad revenue than we lose in the casino. Because we are playing at a negative expectation game. We don't expect to win.
Right.
We set aside about between 20 and 30,000 a year that we expect to lose, but we've gotten incredibly lucky. Last year we won. This year we're towards the end of October now. We're still up, but we've had crazy swings because we play all those volatile games like Ultimate X. For example, in March. So we started our at the end of every year we say how we did for the year, and then we start again at New Year's. In March, we were down $20,000 for the year. Then in a span of 1 week, we hit 4 aces with a kicker with a 12 times multiplier on triple-double bonus for $12,000 in
There you
a
go.
bonus. And then on Dream Card, we got Delta Royal Flush for $10,000.
With a Dream Card?
Yes, it Dream Carded it to us.
Wow.
And that's actually the second time that's happened to us. The first time was on dimes, so it was only what is that, $4,000?
400, yeah.
Yeah, well, 400 a hand times 10 because it was 10 hands, and then this time it was on quarters, so it was 1,000 times 10 for 10,000. So then
That's incredible.
and then my dad went out of town, and I filmed for a week, and it was the most. I couldn't lose. I think I won. In 1 day of filming 7 videos, I won over $11,000. So from I think it was the middle of March to the middle of May, we went from down 20,000 to up 20,000. So we had a $40,000 swing in 2 months.
You've had a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good variance for you.
Yeah, but now it's slowly chipping away. I think the last video I edited, I think I'm up like 1,200 or something for the year. So it has come back down, but hopefully we can squeak out another win this year.
So do you typically spend $1,000 a week?
Well, yeah. So what it is it's we release one video every day. It's a 20-minute. We were originally doing 20-minute videos, win or lose. Now once we started in March, we were having that bad run when we were down 20,000 in 3 months. We changed our rule to we always buy in for 1,000. If we're up $500 10 minutes into the video, then we just end it early as a winner.
Okay.
You know, it sounds this business model sounds a lot like literally professional gambling, where if it doesn't go right for you in the beginning, it can get really too expensive.
Oh yeah.
To go through. So I mean, there are people out there who are saying, "Man, I want to do that." It's a scary road, isn't it?
It is, and I would not. Well, because the thing is, we heard at the beginning from all these people. We talk to people, and they'd be like, "Oh, I want to be a slot influencer because look, these people just win all the time, and then they've got to be making money from the ads too." But that was originally all the slot people. They were only posting their wins. They weren't posting their losses. Now it's sort of gotten to the point where I think most of the channels now have adopted the same transparency that we've always had, where they're showing wins and losses, so they're a bit better, but it is still it can be very rough.
Well, I say congratulations to you guys because I know a lot of people who tried, and they're like, "No, it's not for me."
Yeah.
And it's really surprising how long it takes to start really making money on your videos on any of the platforms. It takes a long time.
Yes. So I mean, I started another channel because I like to go fishing all the time. I've started a fishing channel, and it's growing from scratch. It's hard. I think I'm up to like 67 subscribers or something after like a month. So.
And you can't even your own people. There's not enough.
Yeah.
You can talk about it all you want and try to push it, but if they don't like fishing,
yeah, exactly,
they ain't gonna go, right?
I think I posted it, or I mentioned it in our live stream and posted it in the chat. I think I got half of those 67 subscribers from that one post in our live stream, but that was about it. Yeah.
Okay, so like we said, we've got when I do his show, I do it by Zoom, and we got him here in Vegas. We get to Vegas pretty often.
Yeah, I try to get here 2 or 3 times a year. My dad doesn't come as much anymore because him and my mom are off on cruises, but I like to still come. And yeah, it's...
What's your favorite places? I mean, I know you do some Resorts World, you do some Virgin.
Yeah, I'm kind of biased because I like the places that allow me to film. So, so Resorts World is one of the few places I have permission. I still love the Cosmopolitan. Cosmo is great, and I like their cocktail program at the Chandelier Bar. They've got some good bartenders there, and yeah, we used to stay at Virgin, which is also very nice. But it's now that I bring my fiance and she isn't as big of a gambler as me, she didn't like it because we had to take a cab everywhere because it's off the strip. But that's why we sort of moved over to Resorts World. So that's sort of my go-to property is either Resorts World or Cosmo now.
Okay, you work the comps. I mean,
yeah,
you play enough that you're able to wend your way through the comp system pretty good.
I still don't know what I did, but I'm being treated very, very well at Resorts World. We were here for a concert this past weekend, and my offer was only, I think, 3 nights. And it was actually, Resorts World was the closest place to the festival grounds right there, and it said they were sold out for the weekend. And I called my host, and she's like, "No," she comped me all 5 nights.
And you're also you're a tiki guy.
Yes, I love my favorite bar in all of Las Vegas. I tell everybody you got to go to the Golden Tiki, which coincidentally is 3 blocks from here. So I think I'm going on the way home.
It's not far.
I think somebody at this table might go with you.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 2 people at this table might go with you.
All right.
Well, they got great Mai Tais.
Yes, I haven't been to the Tiki for a while.
You just got to watch your eyebrows there because they like to light stuff on fire.
Oh wow.
Cool. What about the other one, Frankie's? Did you ever go to Frankie's?
No, I haven't been to Frankie's.
You haven't been to Frankie's? Frankie's
No.
Tiki Room?
No.
That is that's the OG, man. That's the original.
That's a good one. I've seen Pauly Shore there, and I've heard Nick Cage hangs there.
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage is my favorite person in the world. I would love to meet him.
Ooh, it must
That's Frankie's. They talk
Frankie's
about it.
for you next time, man. Frankie's
All
for you
right.
next time. Okay, we ask everybody this. Do you have a favorite gambling book?
The American Casino Guide. Book.
Okay,
I'm a
that's
little
good.
biased.
All right, let's go with second favorite.
Second favorite, Comp City by Max Rubin.
Comp City, I knew it.
A lot of people say that.
He plays a comp game. That's what I said. And I mean, Max Rubin's stuff is still, not only is it the funniest gambling book of all time, but it is also still pertinent. It really is.
Yeah. I remember he has that story at the beginning about how he was hanging out with all the hustlers and they had great Cadillacs, but you looked at the tires and they were all bald because they couldn't afford all that.
Oh, Max.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Max knows how to do it. All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it very much.
Yes.
Good
Glad
having
to
you.
be here. I'm glad we finally got to do this in person.
Keep doing it with the channel,
Yes.
and people watch, man.
Yeah.
It's the Jackpot Gents. I've been watching for a long time. They have educational videos, and they got some great video poker streaming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you know,
Five. Yeah, we do one live video every day, so that's 7 for the week, and then we live stream every Monday night from a land-based casino, and every Thursday night from the sweepstakes casinos. That's the new thing, I think, in every state but Nevada.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Nevada wants to keep, well, no lottery here either.
Yeah.
Yep.
They want to keep gambling out, except for gambling,
Yeah.
right?
right, got to go to Arizona for that, buddy.
Yeah, really. And you know what? I'll throw in one more plug. Look at the new channel.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
some of the videos that they did stuff with me. They did Gene Scott. They had Bob Dancer, I believe.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones that you can go back into the archives there and get some really good, valuable information about playing right.
Yeah, and that one's youtube.com/@American Casino Guide book.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate